Okay, here is dev vlog day number 1. I started making this game 2 weeks ago. Right now I am at version 0.3, at least by my roadmap. Let me explain the game to you for a little bit. These are our actors. This circle, triangle, and square serve different purposes. Circle guy is the all-rounder of the group. These are basically the classes. This guy has average HP, average movement speed. Later, I want to implement attack speed as well. Maybe, I don't know. We will see. And triangle actor is the fastest moving, but it has lower HP than the round guy. And square guy is like basically the tank. It moves slower, but its HP is more. Let me show you it like this. There you can see triangle actor has 250 move speed, 80 HP, etc. etc. Square actor has 175 move speed, its turn speed also half of triangle, you can see right here, and HP is 120. These are subject to change, by the way, because most things are just placeholders. Circle actor has 200 move speed and 100 HP. These are basically the classes. What I've been trying to do is I've been trying to get this to controlled by AI, very basic AI, and I've already hit a bit of a wall. Let me show you. The circle guy is right now our player character, and these two are AI. As you can see, they follow the circle because they know they are in a different team than the circle, and they know it's the enemy. So, in order to chase the circle, they have to rotate and move towards it. Right now, they are not moving. They are supposed to be grabbing these weapons behind them, first walking towards here, and then equipping those weapons and chasing me to attack. As you can see, they just rotate. Let me equip these weapons. Um, the code is a bit buggy right now. That's why I'm trying to fix today. They do exactly as they're told, as expected from computer programs. Sorry. And if I move too close, they start chasing me. They are not supposed to do that. They are supposed to grab weapons first because they can't do any damage without weapons. Right now, they have basic damage and HP indicators, and if they go 0 HP, they disappear. Since it's version 0.3, there's no respawn mechanics, no nothing. Right now, we are trying to fix this bug where they face hug you, they don't fixate on the weapons, they just chase you. And as you can see, because the circle guy is slightly faster than square guy gets left behind. If I leave enough of a gap, he stops chasing me and he still rotates towards me, but he stops moving. We don't want that, obviously. I keep saying we because I've been working on this project with ChatGPT, not with. I am using ChatGPT to write me the code for this game because I know zero coding. Not zero exactly. That was a misspoke there. I know how coding works. For example, let me give you an example. Let's see. Right around here. I know what this is supposed to do. It says read intent if is player. I know that refers to this. Is player true? I know how that works, but I don't know how to write this code myself. That's why I'm using ChatGPT to help me create this game. If is player, read player intent. If else, there is only the player and AI at this point, so else works here. There is no else if needed. Else read AI intent. So if player get inputs WASD basically and move accordingly. And there is dodge button, of course. Oh, sorry, I forgot to show you that. I can press spacebar and it dodges. Like this. Moves backwards right now. I can't stop them chasing. And if it's AI, move intent, AI target, if AI target and is instance valid, etc. etc. I know what these do. These are all written by ChatGPT. I can read and understand it. I don't know how exactly to write it myself or debug it. That's why I am using ChatGPT to help me. As you can see, I've been doing this for a while and I wrote ChatGPT this. It's still bugged. It still doesn't do what it's supposed to do. Still SpaceX, it still doesn't grab any weapons, and ChatGPT came up with this. ActorGD is the controlling script for both players and AI. So AI doesn't pick up weapons because of this. In function process delta, where is that? Towards the up. This one. If is player. ChatGPT basically says there is no uh, function or include this function doesn't include, sorry about that, this function doesn't include AI, only cares if it's player. So that's why the AI doesn't picking up weapons or dropping them or swapping them, anything like that. AI knows that there are weapons, but they don't pick them up because they can't, basically. Actually, AI, we don't know if AI knows that there are weapons or not. So ChatGPT proposed this to see if AI knows that there are weapons. Let's see. Tell me this to copy this. Read AI intent. Let's see. Sorry about that. Control F. AI intent. Read AI intent. Here. Okay. And this is a mistake, but can fix this easily. We do this. Okay. By the way, maybe some of you can identify the game engine we are using. Of course, it says it up there, right here. I'm using Godot for this because it felt the easiest to make this game. I considered using Unity or something else, but Godot is simple. I don't know anything about anything. Unity seemed so much more cumbersome. That's why I decided to use Godot. Of course, since I've been working on this for 2 weeks already, ChatGPT knows what we are working in. It knows all this code because GPT wrote this code here itself. I just do the copy and pasting. I give it prompts. It came up with the code. I copy and paste it, test it, and we'll go from there. Right now, let's see if the AI sees the weapon. Doesn't seem so. Let's bring them closer to the weapon. Yes. Triangle actor can see this weapon right here. But only when it's close. That explains why we were having another bug before this. They would follow me to these weapons and they would fixate on their nodes trying to grab them, but because they had uh, no code for their pickups, picking up the weapon, they didn't pick it up. Just stood on top of the weapon, ignoring the player. Okay. Weapon query is failing. No, it printed, so it's not. Only when very close, reach logic is wrong. Yeah, this reach logic is wrong. If it prints constantly, AI does see weapons. Okay, this one. So, step 2. Enemy intent. Let's see. AI target. Get nearest enemy. Sorry about that. Copy pasted it. Wrong place. This one shouldn't exist. This one be here. This one should be here. Okay, I broke something. Let's see. Let's do it like this. How about this? Okay, this works. Okay, let's see. As you can see, works. Does the sprint even when a weapon is nearby? Okay, we have to drag the AI towards the weapons first and see if they still fixate on us instead of the weapons. Let me kill the triangle guy and with the square guy because I want to do this. Yes, now it's fixating on the weapon, but trying to turn towards the player. This was the bug I was encountering before. AI would stay there and didn't even chase the player, even if it got close. Now, let's try this. Okay, I didn't move far enough, I guess. Did you see the movement? It literally focused on the weapon instead of the player. But yes, this is what we want. This is intended, but it's supposed to pick that weapon up and come towards me charging with it. Okay. Now we know that AI sees the weapon, tries to pick it up, but it can't because there's nothing in the code like that for it to pick the weapon up, even when a weapon is nearby. No. Moment override happens later. So, since there is no attacking in this game without any weapons, I wanted AI to first seek out any weapons, then come attacking. Because I want to include some other things later. Like your weapon can break in the middle of combat. So when it breaks, just left without a weapon. So you will pick up anything else on the arena that's spawned from, I don't know, wherever. Maybe dropped by other enemies. If they die, then drop their weapons. So without a weapon, you are useless. So AI has to run away first. When they left without weapons, they have to run away and grab a weapon first, then come back and fight. That's why we are doing this way. AI is supposed to pick out any weapons if they are unarmed, then come attacking. And as you can see right here, I can dual wield weapons. So AI seeks to fill its right hand first, and if their right hand is full or holding a weapon, they try to attack. But when they're attacking, if they move close to another weapon, they try to dual wield, or later stages I will add shield to the game and they will try to equip a shield on their left hand as well if they come close to it. But at first, one weapon is enough. So that's why it's this way. Okay. Is separation force canceling weapon intent? Pushes its server. Either face lock. Okay, let's see. Move intent. See what ChatGPT is proposing right now. Um, Current code, weapon global position, minus global position, normal target, weapon global position. Okay. AI wants weapon, but suppression pushes it sideways. Neglector 0, jitter face up. Okay. Command this block entirely. For actor, get 3, get nothing actors. Roll that. Oops. Sorry. Comment this block entirely. So we will change it to dev node, so it stops from working for now. We will remove it later. If AI suddenly walks clean into your weapon, stops jittering, separation is overpowering it. That's expected. Okay. They don't seem to be moving towards weapons as I drag them those weapons. Still following me obsessively, trying to escape, but they don't see the weapons very clearly. They don't move towards them. And I'm guessing right now square and the triangle trying to pick up the same weapon. Let's see. Let's see. Jittering is fine. moment is supposed to be janky because I haven't refined it yet. Okay, let's see. Let's remove these comments. Nope. Okay. They don't walk clean into weapons. Apply movement. They don't fixate on weapons. This stops. 0 intent time. Non-zero kilometers per month. Yes, that's the problem. One, exactly. Because right now it's player only. Collides has no pickup trigger, yes. Armed forever. Okay. Technically, yeah, incomplete still. Yes, I forgot to add pickup logic for the AI. Weapon debug freeze, yes. They did see it. Okay, ChatGPT thinks there's a specific problem, but there is actually more than one problem. Right now, they don't pick up weapons because it's not in the code yet. Also, they don't follow the player or the enemy until the enemy comes close to them. And then they start this face hugging behavior, which is not intended at all. So, I'm thinking about the prompt to write to ChatGPT. Actually, I think I will explain everything clearly to ChatGPT. Then we'll see what it says about that. Okay, I told ChatGPT what's wrong, and this is it. At least this is what I'm seeing on my screen. And since ChatGPT can see my screen, I tried to explain it very clearly. So it came up with this. Let's see what it said. Okay. It goes separate systems. Yes, exactly. React news. Yes, we made a mistake right here. Technically, these are not bugs. Technically, we made mistakes while writing this code. Yes, exactly. We want this to limit the pickup distance, but not the visibility. Because let me show you right here. Pickup reach. This is it. All actors are roughly 64 pixels wide. We want them to pick up 96 pixels from 96 pixels far because I thought that it's reasonable. or realistic at least. Your arms can reach forwards, you can bend over, even though you can only see this world through the top-down view and it's 2D. You can imagine that these shapes having hands and reaching out to grab these weapons. If, let's say, this circle guy would pick up this pole 4 right here, it would feel like force powers in Star Wars. We don't want that. That's why we added pickup reach. And it's 96 pixels long. I'm sorry, 96 pixels far. The most can anyone reach. You can change that of course. You can set individual pickup reaches, but it's default for now for everyone. But this also turned up to be limiting their vision. Where is it? Get nearest weapon. Let's see. Get nearest weapon. Far shortest. No. Yes, here it is. Function get nearest weapon. Pickup reach. Weapon detection radius and pickup reach is the same thing. So, any of these actors only see weapons 96 pixels away from their center point, center node. We wouldn't want that. Clearly, this triangle actor is seeing the pole 4 in front of it. So it would fixate on that and move towards that to pick it up. Even though it can pick up, it's supposed to move towards that. As you can see here, if I, sorry, yes, see that? When I dodged away from them, they fixate on the weapon. They should do this at all times instead of following the player. They should do this at all times, like that, just like that. Even though when I start the game first, they are supposed to be right now moving towards these weapons or these weapons, not rotating towards me, not fixating on the player or enemies or anyone, only weapons. After they get a one weapon in their right hand, they start chasing enemies. And then, while chasing enemies, if they walk over a weapon like this, they can pick it up again to fill out their left hand. And then they start attacking. They are supposed to do that, but they are not doing that. Yes, exactly. We should do this. We will change it and we will add weapon scan radius or whatever visibility. Perfect. Enemy chase radius. Move intent. Exactly. Velocity is large enough. Knockback is 0. Separation doesn't cancel. Far away separation 0. Knockback 0, but no path. And every frame, so it was in the neck. Exactly. Technically, this is where ChatGPT wrong. Actually, that's part of my mistake, partly my mistake, because I never told ChatGPT that there's separation happening because there's no separation happening. No attack range logic. Yeah, that's fixable. Exactly. Then this part is true because face hugging isn't that big of a problem. We can later say that um, enemies are allowed to get close until they are, I don't know, 20 pixels away from the any enemy. Okay. Okay, let me repeat it one more thing. Okay, I told ChatGPT these. I think these are what's wrong because the actors are acting like this, not the way ChatGPT said. So let's see. And ChatGPT can read the code and tell me where I'm right, where I'm wrong. Okay, separation is doing nothing right now. I misspoke earlier that we didn't add separation, but we did. We did it in more intents. Let me see. Back velocity. No, not this. Start dodge. Yes, separation. This is supposed to prevent AI stacking on top up top of each other. This is so this doesn't happen. You see here, their collision box is colliding and moves unintentionally. I couldn't get it right. See this? See? 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 The square guy can't move that fast. It's slow by design. It is supposed to be slow, but when I rotate, it throws himself out. This is not intended at all. That's why we added separation. So they can keep a little bit distance from enemies and each other. But they are not doing that. So separation is useless right now. So, and this move intent normalized kills the separation. That's the problem here. But it's not a big problem because we don't need it right now. Not exactly needed. That's normalized. Magnitude permission is 0 net result, no straight at target. Yes, and has no effect. That's okay. This is my simple fix for now. Yes, it's not smart AI. It's just a collision prevention system, and it can very well work with this kind of simple game. Yes, AI still can see things, etc., etc. Yes, yes. Okay, let's see. We will give AI perception, not just reach. Right now, AI thinks like as if they are moving around by feeling with their hands. If anything is out of their reach range, they don't try to move towards it. Even the player. When I move 96 pixels away from them, they fixate on me. And when I dodge away more than 96 pixels, they stick to the closest thing that is 96 pixels from them. And let me show you this as well. Right now we have teams, and I'm going to change triangle from team ID 1 to team ID 2. Where is team ID 1 and I am team ID 0. So this is free for all basically. See that? How they face at each other. And when I move, the AI goes crazy because it targets me, then the square, then me, then square. 60 times per second. 60 times. And now it's focused on me. And the square guy focused on the triangle. And I move away. It's going to focus back to the square guy. I can force myself to be the main focus. It's finicky, but it works. I am trying to dodge myself into them. At this stage, dodge is basically a launching system. Whenever I press space, the character moves away from the mouse cursor. So I'm trying to launch myself into them. Yes, triangle is focused on me and I lost. Anyways. Weapon pickup intent. Intent is there. It's in the code. Clearly there. Let's see. Pickup drop. Handle pickup drop. If not input action, return. No, not this. Get nearest weapon. If not right hand. This basically says that if AI's right hand is empty, focus on filling that hand with a weapon. And if left hand is empty, focus on that as well. Get nearest weapon. No, this is not it. AI. Intents. This must be AI intents. And input knockback, dodge, rotation. Clear it. AI intent. Target. Yes, this one. Sorry, that was the wrong. If AI's right hand is empty, they go to the nearest weapon. If there is a weapon, if they find a weapon nearest to them, and they move intent towards their global position. Only if not combat in combat range. Oh, 1 second. I'm realizing a mistake here. I didn't tell ChatGPT to write it like that. We are going to have to change this part. Fight if enemy close. No. It first has to check if it has any weapons. If it has weapons, then fight the enemy. And if enemy is close, is nothing to do with that. We might go one-on-one, and then the enemy doesn't have to be close, because just you and the enemy, you have to move towards it and fight. That's the only idea in this game. I can spawn 2 characters right at this point, and they can fight in the middle. So if it's going to only chase the enemy when it's close, that doesn't work for us, because then AI will wait here until the player comes close, and that doesn't work. Okay, now I'm seeing a little bit of a mistake here. That weapon only if nothing damage. No, that's not true either. That weapon if you have no weapons, and even if you are in the combat range. Just retreat, grab a weapon, and then go back to fight. Chase enemy at range. And this might stay. We will see. Okay. Now let's see what ChatGPT thinks about this. Okay. Let me do this. Okay. I've been really stupid with this. I don't know how to explain it in any other way, because as you can see in this code, Let me full screen this first. Read AI intent. AI target get nearest enemy. Enemy distance infinite. So far so good. But when we get down here, no, not here, sorry, here. If AI target and enemy distance is lower than AI combat distance, move intent. So what this telling AI to do is, if the chosen target is close, they should start moving. But this isn't supposed to do that. Developer note specifically says fight if enemy is close, not move if enemy close. But as you can see, it only moves if enemy close. AI should move no matter how far the enemy is. That's the problem. Second problem is, this isn't priority one. Priority one should be to arm themselves, because AI starts unarmed. Right here. Even the player character has no weapons. AI starts unarmed. That's it. Done and done. Let's do this. Yes, circle after is player false. Now, circle is also controlled by the AI. This is what they should be doing. Another mistake is there is no pickup function for AI to pick the weapons from the ground. If AI was able to pick this weapon up, it would. That's why it's jittering on it like this. It's because of this part of the code. Right here. Not right hand has item. This basically says if AI's right hand is empty, unarmed, then get nearest weapon. Exactly what this guy is doing. If weapon, then move intent. Weapon global position normalized. Which means just this. It's saying that if its right hand is empty, and as you can see right here, let me find editable children. Every actor has hands. These are just signal inputs. As you can see here. Left hand, queries, equipped, unequipped. If equipped item, unequipped item, represent self, top level false. This is the dropping action. When I press the E button on the keyboard, it drops the weapon it's holding. This part doesn't work properly as well. Let me show you that with this. I'm pressing E. When I press E again, let me pick this so you can see the console. When I press E again, the character's supposed to drop this pole on the ground, but I'm pressing it right now and it does nothing. Grab a second pole by pressing E, and when I get close to the third weapon, and when I press E, only then it drops and it swaps. This is not intended. We will fix this later, but this is exactly doing what is told. Anyways, this is not the part. Okay, let me talk about the hands a little bit more. I designed the hands as to be signal forwarders. Only that. Signal forwarders and weapon holding slots. Nothing else. That's why hand script is so much smaller. Only 60 lines of code. Even weapon code is 115 lines long. Actor code, basically that does everything your character does, 274 lines. So let me find a mistake again. Actually, we did add. No, AI targeting works perfectly because at the start of the video, we did use debugs that ChatGPT suggested, and AIs would see the player character from wherever they are. They just didn't move towards it. That's our problem. So targeting works. Damage dealt, weapon query. No, not this. Knockback, dodge, rotation. Yes, here. Okay. Fight if enemy is close. It's wrong. AI shouldn't fight if has no weapon. If it has no weapons. That's the problem one. This is problem two. Get weapon only if not in combat range. AI should prioritize getting weapons even if it's in combat range. They should retreat, grab a weapon, then return back to fight. This is wrong. Priority 3, chase enemy at range. No. They should chase enemies, whether AI or player, at any range. Not just when they get close. So this is doing what it's intended, but this is not what it's supposed to do. Mistake is not a bug. It's just we wrote the code wrong. That's the problem. Okay, let's fix it. I already gone and talked with ChatGPT, and I've told it to check that bit of code right there, these priorities, and we are going to supposedly change this read AI intent thing completely, maybe even remove the separation, and then we'll see. This is what ChatGPT said. Design mismatch. Yes, exactly that. If you want to read this further, I'm going to skim through it. You can pause the video and read. Priority absolute. Yes, exactly. This is non-negotiable. They should seek out weapons and arm themselves. Sorry. They should arm themselves as soon as possible. Prioritize it above else. Second rule. Weapon acquisition overrides danger. Yes. Even if they are getting attacked, they can't defend themselves without a weapon. So, they should seek out a weapon, no matter what. Under attack does not matter. Yes, for now, because we will make the AI smarter later on, but this doesn't apply for this version right now. As you can see, ChatGPT and I've been doing some talking. It knows that we are on version 0.4, working on 0.4. We are currently on 0.3. Enemies have no max range. Yes. If armed, they should be chasing the enemy up here, even if the enemy was there. Or I can put them further apart, like this. This is a huge distance, but they should move towards a weapon, pick it up, and then chase. They see you, but don't move. Yes, we've seen that in the debug prints. Code was working, and AI told us, the code told us that they see the player character, but they are not chasing it. Velocity is non-zero, but directions. This is technically wrong because they had a direction towards the player, but their priorities were wrong. It's disengage when you leave this. This is exactly that. Combat distance is a break, not a switch. Um, this one is what I suggested a message before. This one, I told ChatGPT that we could add 80 pixels difference between actors because each of actors roughly 64 by 64 pixels, as you can see here. So their centers also are 64 by 64. Sorry, 64 pixels apart. If it's 80 pixels, it will look something like this. They don't need to get closer than this because weapons will always have reach. There will be no smaller weapons, and we can refine this later. We don't need them to be too close right now. So that solves the face hugging problem. Not don't fight, not change target, just don't move closer. Yes, exactly that. We have to make the code do that without adding complexity. Yes, that's the general idea. I'm trying to keep this game as simple as possible. That's why I've chosen shapes to indicate class differences, colors to indicate teams. Right now, triangle and square are in the same team, but basically this will be the colors: red, green, blue, and maybe yellow. Four teams. Okay, why current system breaks? We already solved that part. What needs to change? Yes, and this is pseudo logic, as ChatGPT says. If that do nothing, obviously. If AI controlled, if armed, target nearest weapon. Yes, no distance limit. This might come as a problem later on because if something glitches and the weapon spawns outside of the arena and it's the only available weapon, the AI might trying to reach it but can't. That can be a problem, but later on, not right now. So move toward weapon, and when it gets close to the weapon, another line of code will be running and it will pick up the item. From here on, AI is up. Yes. Target enemy, no distance limit. Yes. Again, this might lead to the same issue if any of the enemies glitch out. They might try to reach them, but they can't. Maybe we can fix that with that box. If anything moves outside of these lines, it dies. An object, a player, AI, doesn't matter. It just dies. It gets removed from the arena. Not dropped on the ground, removed. That might fix it. If distance to enemy greater than preferred distance, move toward enemy. Yes, else stop forward movement or slight separation later. Yes, later. Stop forward movement works because the code is going to run 60 times per second. So checking this 60 times per second seems enough, but it might feel jittery later on. We will see. That's it. Yes. No combat range check before weapon logic. Yes. Detection radius. We might have a detection radius, but not a hard-coded one right now. Fallback wandering, dual priorities, yes. Always moves, never freezes, never fights unarmed, never face hugs, weapon pickup becomes reliable. Square versus circle speed difference finally matters. Exactly that. This is what we want. And yes, this is a foundational fix because we messed up all of this code right here. I keep saying we, even though I make ChatGPT write most of the code by itself, because sometimes my prompts are wrong. I explain things differently. I misphrase things, misspoke, and as a computer program, ChatGPT takes things literally and translates back to me um, exactly what I said. Actually, I probably made a mistake earlier in this conversation. It's been 2 weeks. I don't know where. I don't want to check right now. That's why it thought to do this. Fight if enemy is close. No, don't fight if enemy is close. Fight even if enemy is far. First get there, first grab a weapon. Then get there, then fight. Okay, now I'm going to give the command and it's going to change all of this. I don't know if it's going to keep the separation. I'll only say, as it told me to do it. Like that's it. Okay, I've told ChatGPT to do it and supposedly that did it. I skimmed through it. I don't think this is the exact code that I want, but I will put it in and we will try. Before that, let me go through it for anyone who's watching. Unarmed AI is not a combatant. Yes, that's a good idea. That's a good intent to have in the logic itself. Weapon acquisition overrides everything. Yes, please. Enemies are pursued from any distance. Yes. Combat stance only prevents further advance. Yes. So this means they won't try to charge at each other like rams butting heads. That's perfect. No detection radius, no chase radius. Yes. Right now, they will detect enemies or weapons even if they're outside of the arena. That's fine for now, but we will fix that later. Okay, if any other system violates this later, that system is wrong, not this logic. Well, that's debatable, but let's keep that for now. Okay, if is that this is I don't know if this is necessary, but ChatGPT might be trying to um, lower the resource usage with this one because we have a condition, but actors being dead, yes, die. Read name died. Okay. So if is that intent none. So for the taken out actors, the code won't try to um, run this logic for every dead actor. That's good, but I don't know if it's necessary at this stage. Let's copy this code and replace it with this one. First, let me show you everything. Um, from here on, AI is armed as we checked in the pseudo logic. AI intent none. Chase enemy, no range limit. Preferred combat distance, etc. etc. Download. Separation will be laid, can be layered later, and will be layered later. Right now, we don't need it. Okay, let's see if it turns any errors. These are lots of errors. If is that. Okay. Not declared. On the base of my nearest weapon. Okay. ChatGPT had made a small mistake here. Okay. Okay, uh, what I want next is to make this code fit into the script that I have. I I gave ChatGPT a copy of the code as an LDF live design file, so it sees that all the time. But for some reason, sorry about that. For some reason, it decided to create some new variables, constants, functions for us. I don't know why. I told him not to do that, but probably it got lost in the context. So I'm going to tell it again to check the actor GD it has, the copy it has, and fix things according to there. And if it wants to add new variables, it has to add them at the start of the code, right here. These are our variables. This is config, state, HP, move intent, knockback velocity, references, dodge functions or parameters, AI. It needs to add those here if we are going to use it anywhere here. So heading these, we have a die function, but we have no identifier as is that not declared in the current scope because there isn't one. There is no is that in 315 lines of code. Nowhere. AI intent, none. There is nothing that says AI intent like this. Is AI control? There is nothing that says this. We decide if it's AI controlled or not by telling the code right here is player. True. If it's true, it is controlled by player actions. If it's false, it's controlled by the um, AI code, AI logic in the code. Sorry about that. Where is that? Right, it should be right here. If is player, handle pickup drop. That's it. No, this isn't. Sorry. Function read player intent, move intent vector. Input get action strength move right. As I explained before, this says when I press WASD, it moves. And if I press spacebar, it dodges backwards. Read AI intent. This is AI intent. That's it. And how does it decide? Ah, exactly right here. Function read intent. If is player, read player intent. Else, everything else. If this box is unchecked, then this part. But if that box is checked, this part comes into play. So I'm going to tell ChatGPT to do that. I'm going to show you the results, and since this video has taken so long for something so tiny, I'm going to end this here. Let me see for the last time. We changed it. Also, this part was giving an error, so since it has all features, we had to have bool here. So now everything works as intended. AI moves towards the weapons first, even if they keep facing me. And even if the eye get close, they don't chase me before getting weapons. Since the weapon pickup function just works for players now and not for the AI yet, they can't pick up the weapons, so they don't try to chase me. this is what they are supposed to be doing. I'm trying to push myself through here. And let's see. I grab the weapon. And let's grab this weapon as well. Now they are still chasing me. They are not supposed to keep chasing me. Still, there's something wrong with that. They should be fixated on those weapons. Okay. I'm going to cut this video here for now. I'm going to fix this still chasing issue in the next video, because because we don't want this. I don't want AI to chase player when they have no weapon. They should focus on the weapons first and foremost. When they have no weapons, they should try to run away, not try to grab some weapons. Sorry, they should try to run away before fighting the player. Without weapons, their existence is not really logical, because these are supposed to be fighters thrown in an arena. All they are going to do is fight. So, if they are not fighting, if they are not holding any weapons, they are not fighting. So, logically, they should seek weapons at first. And we will change that. We will refine this code in the next episode. And I'm going to see. Okay, let me see this as well. I changed their teams. They focus on each other or weapons. Oh, okay, they're focusing on the weapons. So in order for them to follow me, I need to get very, very close. But they stay fixed on me. Still a problem. We will refine that later, but clearly they are seeking weapons. Next episode, I will add a function for AI. Minimum closest distance, 80 pixels or so, and some other features as well. Take care.